A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Survival of No Limits. And now Survival of No Limits is really gonna be quite a feat for me, quite a project, because it's only day 5. Day 5. And we're pretty much coming close to being in the middle of February, so we cannot forget that this is in fact a time where I can't stress this enough. There's really a lot to look forward to. There's really a lot that I could possibly ever talk about. So let's just say that this is pretty much just the beginning, even though the beginning was quite a while ago. Well, anyways, today I'm going to be talking about quite a few things relating to how many calories one eats in a day. I do have a lot to say about this as a whole, so of course, let's just say that we're really going to be in for a treat. So, here we are. Caloric intake, part 5 of 1027, and I do have to say that a lot of times there are in fact plenty of different things out there that I happen to eat that are very high in calories and some things that are lower in calories. Calories, of course, are just increments that are used to determine various health indications. Calories themselves are basically just another way of saying, if you were to put down 1 liter of water and burn it by 1 degree centigrade, then you basically have yourselves an increment of caloric content that you could easily burn off when doing a workout. Of course, if Super Size Me and various other sources that we have today were able to pretty much pinpoint the exact definition of what a calorie specifically is, regardless of its usage of being measured in certain foods, in certain drinks, in certain lunch, dinner, breakfast, dessert items. Calories, of course, are one thing that we always keep a lookout for, because depending on how much we consume, our weight can drastically change. There really is no way around it. However, there have in fact been a lot of studies that have been carefully put together based on how caloric deficits can occur even though you may feel like you're consuming more calories than necessary. I, for one, happen to consume an average around 2,000 to 3,000 on a daily basis. Though, of course, I've been trying myself to put through a diet that basically puts down only a fraction of that amount. And it's for a good reason, too. I've had a bodily weight of 181 pounds years ago. But of course, in the last 5 or 6 years, it's grown absolutely big. 285 pounds. That was how high my weight was just last year, as a matter of fact. Early to mid 2020 was just that. 285 pounds I managed to get up to. But then, of course, an epiphany happened. Because of me really lowering my caloric intake and also me putting myself through a larger load of exercises every week, it allowed me to lose more than 20 to 30 pounds. Because even to this day, I still weigh more than 250. As strange as that sounds, I mean, that still puts me at a possible risk for some things out there like coronary artery disease, or a possible stroke. Some cancers might also develop along the way. And it's not just because of my consumption of some things out there like processed meats and sausages, as well as some like microwaved things out there. Of course, microwave radiation is not too dangerous. But of course, you would certainly have to worry about exposing yourself to microwave radiation. But we also can't forget the fact that, aside from all that, radioactive properties, tobacco, and nuclear waste, they can all be an effect on you, depending on what your causality of cancer might be. And I gotta say, I've really been trying my best to avoid most radioactive things out there, and also avoid the smoking. Because aside from most cancers that could develop, tobacco itself is already a huge load of just negative dilemma. Your lungs could get tarred up to the point which you cannot breathe. There's also, well, the possibility of your heart rate going up too high, and, well, your throat might end up in really bad shape. There's a lot of problems with tobacco, and I'm just surprised that even to this day, it is not banned. Same thing goes with alcohol. A legit confirmed poison. It's a poison. Stop drinking. Of course, I only tried a Rolling Rock once, but it tasted terrible. Sorry, James Rolfe, but it tastes awful. Wow. I'm glad I'm really just avoiding all the stuff that really needs to be illegalized, whereas marijuana should be legalized. It's a good medicine. But aside from all that, I feel like that my normal caloric intake, which is already itself a slew of different problems out there, depending on your diet, you could end up with dozens upon hundreds of different things out there. You could end up with a lot of problems. There's been a lot of prior history relating to caloric intake resulting in massive collapses, as well as different cancers, insulin resistance, and hundreds of different other things that could probably ever happen to you. Even if it doesn't take a minute or 1 hour to do, it still could affect you later in life, especially when you're entering your 30s, 40s, 50s, your middle ages, old ages. It's really that big of a problem. But let's also not forget that depending on the brand that you get, depending on the quality of the food that's there, depending on how well it's cooked, depending on how well it's been handled, depending on how well people out there are getting the food ready for preparation, there's really a lot of contributing factors that I could be here all day for. But you know what? I feel like I'll just lay out some of these individual topics in their own segment of Survival of No Limits, because I mainly wanted to be concerned about what caloric intake as a whole does. Also, I really needed to bring up tobacco, alcohol, and marijuana because, well, only one of them is good for us, and the others need to go immediately. So, of course, that's pretty much just it right there. I'm Jay Nowak, and this has been Survival of No Limits. So if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.